Nancy's neighborhood, folks, and you know I love Cleveland State. You know I love to talk about anything that's going on at Cleveland State. So there's a lot that's going on at Cleveland State, and I'm also very, very passionately for CTE, which is the career technical education in our schools. And so I have Dr. Patty Weaver, newly created Dr. Patty, because she got her, what did you call that, getting your
I got hooded.
hooded. She got her hood at Cleveland State's graduation, but not from Cleveland State, from ETSU. She got her doctorate, so that is great, and I'm so proud of her because I know how much work goes into getting those things. And Scott Packett, and they are at Cleveland State with workforce development. And of course, the first question that anybody's going to say is, what is workforce development? How do you develop workforce? And I think that's a really good question. How do you develop our workforce?
So with the growing economy and the demand for jobs, our unemployment is so low right now, and there's a demand for skilled labor. And so we partner with local industry and other education, like the high schools. And
Yeah, like our CTEs.
Yes, ma'am. And we really try to develop the current workforce into the skilled workers that are needed to go into those jobs. And so what we do is we find out from the industry what they need, because we don't want to produce something they don't need.
Absolutely. I think we're already doing that. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. And so we take that and then we develop curriculum and training programs to help meet that need and get people into the workforce as quickly as possible and highly skilled.
And I think what happened, and I know I was guilty of it as a parent, but it was the best thing for my child, because driving a nail with a hammer is not something my child needed to do. But we all wanted our children to go get a college degree, a 4-year college degree. And I had someone talking to me the other day about a young man that had gotten a 4-year college degree from the University of Colorado, and he's bartending in Colorado right now because whatever he got his degree in is not needed anymore. But I also was talking to Doug Berry from the chamber not long ago, and he told me last year he could have placed 40 welders. Mm-hmm. And I know you all have a welding program at Cleveland State. So this year Doug said he could use 3 times as many welders. So this is just something we have to learn. We have sent too many people to 4-year schools, and now we don't have plumbers and electricians and brick masons and carpenters, and it's plumbers, etc.
Yes, ma'am.
So how are y'all going to fix that?
Well, we in education, I have to say, in education, we've done a great job at telling our young folks that, yes, they need that college education. And we're still not saying they don't need it,
Right.
but I come from a family of 5 kids, 5 children, and if you look at, there's 2 of us with degrees and 3 without, and those 3 without degrees are actually making as much, if not more, than my doctorate.
Of course they are.
It really, I try to, when I talk to students, work with them and industry too, but what are you truly interested in? What are you good at? And then that's what's going to make your life and make it a good life. And today we need those skilled employees, and there's nothing wrong with those being a plumber, electrician, and doing those
Absolutely
things.
not.
So we partner with our CTE programs, and it's a great way to help segue the kids out of high school into the college, if they want to do community college, do a training program to get them the skills they need. So it again goes back to, what is it that our youth want, and what are they good at? Because I've always said to my students, I used to teach high school and taught CTE programs, and I always say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a single day in your life.
Absolutely.
So we've tried to impress that upon them. And so with the skills that we train, the welding, I know some welders that came right out of high school, went to a program as such and got those skills, and now probably makes $65-$100 an hour.
Yeah.
Right?
And
So-
it's amazing. And I'm convinced that for that kind of money I could learn how to weld. But then somebody said, no, I couldn't, because my attention span is not such that I could do that, and I would be constantly looking around, and you don't do that with the welding torch in your hand. But let me ask you, does mechatronics fall under you all?
We do special industry training with mechatronics,
Okay.
but the mechatronics program and the Honors Institute falls underneath the Advanced Technologies Department.
Okay. The reason I ask, I know that you all were recruiting for mechatronics. So are you still recruiting for mechatronics? How does that work?
Absolutely, and the beauty with our workforce development side, which Scott is a part of, I'm thinking of Tim Wilson, Dr. Wilson, who's over our mechatronics, is that we
he's
work.
coming on
Great.
next. Yes,
Great.
He's at my next show. I've got him. So
Great.
good.
We work together to, if they do come to us for some types of training, they're in the process of sitting down and working out what we call prior learning assessments. So they come out of high school with the mechatronics training, they go to work, they come back to us for some non-credit type of training in mechatronics. Then they could possibly transfer that into the credit program and go ahead and get the degree if they so choose. But there's a lot of different options.
Right.
which
And
is
of course,
nice.
you all offer degrees, but then you also have, I'm going to try to say it, certificated programs that aren't really degreed, but you still have a piece of paper that says, I can do this. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and I think somebody said welding was one of those.
Right.
And so I think that's awesome. Now, let me ask you this. We have all this new, supposedly not going to cost anybody anything to go to Cleveland State or any other junior college in the state of Tennessee next year. Does that apply to you all too?
Yes.
Yes,
Tennessee
okay.
Reconnect.
Yes.
And,
The reconnect
I don't
and
know,
also
I don't know all the requirements for it, but I do know that anybody over the age of 24 and or an independent adult.
An independent adult, as
They-
long as you don't have any type of degree,
right.
you qualify.
Right. So, like, if I finished high school, decided to get married and have 3 kids, and all of a sudden I want to get back in the workforce, then Reconnect will help me at Cleveland State.
Just
do
like an
that.
adult promise.
Okay. Okay. So, well, does Adult Promise also work with you all in workforce development?
And no, it doesn't. No,
Okay.
it has to be for credit or certificate.
Okay.
But there are monies through the local WIOA programs, Southeast District in Chattanooga, and we have our own local one at the college. There's an incumbent worker training dollars available, usually lots. They're just waiting to be asked for, and
wow.
a company can actually ask for up to $25,000 a year for 2 years, consecutive years. They're not guaranteed that money,
Right.
but every company that we've worked with so far on it has received those funds. And so what we do is we try to promote that when we are designing a curriculum for a company.
And I think that's awesome. And Scott and I were talking about before we started the show. We're both from McMinn County, so just excuse us, except we're awfully proud of it. But I remember when I was in high school at McMinn County High School, of course, there were 2 options. We actually had agriculture, and there were a lot of technical things that went with the high school. And then, of course, we had Jim Harris was the principal over there at the time. We had the tech school behind us. So if we weren't meeting the needs here, we went here. And then all of a sudden we did away with all that. And now all of a sudden we're to a generation of, and I love what Mike Rowe always says on TV, you know, we've lost our laborers. We've lost our people that are doing the detailed job. And that's, you know, the plumbers. Dear Gussie, I wouldn't even try to do my plumbing at my house, or the electricians and all of those people, because we did what I said. We thought we had to send our child to a 4-year college and get a degree. And then mine went ahead and got another degree and another degree, and now he's got his doctorate. But and I was the product of a household of women that my grandmother had a college degree, my mother had a college degree, so obviously I was supposed to get a college degree. So I think that was probably extremely not what was happening during that time, during the late 1800s and early 1900s. But that was the women in my household. So at Cleveland State, you have fall semester coming up. When do y'all start school?
Actually, we started summer school. It
Okay.
starts Tuesday.
Okay,
So
summer
if you
school
want to go
starts
summer
Tuesday.
school, and then in the fall we'll start. I believe it's around August 24th.
Okay, so is there still time for people to sign up for any of your workforce development programs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're doing the Refuge Boot Camp, welding boot camp right now.
Okay.
And the Refuge is a local nonprofit that helps
Right.
get people back into the workforce, sponsored by Impact Cleveland, or
Which is now City Fields.
City Fields, United Way partner. And
Right.
so we're trying to give back to the community as well through that partnership. And we also are doing lots of things with many different companies from Chattanooga all the way to Loudoun County.
Oh,
So
wow.
those are kind of ongoing partnerships with industry that are asking for a specific type of training. So like we're going to be doing something with Denso here in June, and Carlex up in Monroe County in June. So
That's great. So if anybody's interested in just checking with you to say, what are my opportunities? Because I think they are opportunities. What are my opportunities? How do they do that? I mean, I know they can go on the website.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they can.
They can email me,
Okay.
spackett, Packett, at clevelandstatecc.edu.
clevelandstatecc.edu, and we've talked about that email on a lot of people before on this show. So they can get with you and find out, or is there a website they can go to see what's going to be offered?
Under the Cleveland State website, you could go into continuing education.
Okay.
And there's a list of classes that are offered, the open enrollment classes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And now, nursing doesn't fall under you all, does it? Okay. But that is another thing that y'all have going on at Cleveland State, that people can get certified as a nurse at Cleveland State, and immediately, and trust me, folks, immediately you can get a job, just like a welder. Immediately you can get a job, because that we're short on those. So you're working with industries, finding out what they need, and I think that's awesome. And I'm assuming you're working through the Chamber of Commerce too, with what Doug Berry says. Just like him telling me a year ago he needed 40 welders, like I could do something about that, which I couldn't. But I'm assuming the people from the refuge that you all have trained, you've already had a couple of classes from them, haven't you?
We've been doing it for 3 years now.
Okay, all right. And they are almost
I think
always.
it's a 98% or 97% job placement rate once they finish the class. And it's just a week long. So.
Okay, so now let me ask you about that, because they do that and it's a week long. Now, is there another level of welding that you can take them to?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, if they wanted to come back once they got settled into their job and got their life back the way they want it, they can come back through our credit program and get a certificate, or even go on to get their associates in electromechanical.
Oh, wow.
Or if their company wants to upskill a lot of people in their department, they can contact me and we can develop something specifically for that company.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So lots of different options.
Yeah, so all of our industries out there need to know and understand that that all you have to do is touch base with Scott or Patty, and they will get you what you need.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that is awesome.
And if we can't, we'll try to find somebody who can.
And hopefully you all can.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just really think that's what Cleveland State is doing to help us with the CTEs and all of our people out there that, not everybody's college material. And I just think some of my students I taught when I was teaching, I thought, you will be great at whatever you do, but you probably aren't going to go to college to do it. And I think people just need to understand that. And there's no shame in not having a college degree.
No.
Because like you say, your siblings that don't are probably making more money than you. And you have probably spent more money to get your degrees than they did to get whatever they have for their certification.
Absolutely.
And this is what's so wonderful, is because y'all can help them out financially.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's another thing I want to mention. That's a beauty, and I give my president, Dr. Seymour, credit for this, is that he had the vision of putting several entities all under one roof. So in our advanced technology facility building, we have workforce development, we have continuing education, we have WIOA housed there, American Job Center is housed there, as well as our Small Business Development Center.
Yes.
And then, of course, the Cleveland Bradley Incubator.
Yes.
And so we're all right there. So we all kind of help one another in helping the individual get whatever skill level they enter advanced technology and get whatever skill level that they possibly need, be it upskilling so they can get jobs in the marketplace and get the funding to help them to do that if they qualify. So it's just a great, we're calling it one source.
One source, and that's awesome. And sometimes that helps because people are a little bit leery about calling and coming on campus and doing this, but if we can do it all right there.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's awesome. Thank you all so much for
Thank
being on
you.
with me.
Thank you.
I see Alex, my new associate producer, is waving his arm back there behind the. They do that to me and letting me know that we've run out of time. But I thoroughly enjoyed having you all on with me today. Thank you so much. And Cleveland State is where people need to be.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I love it.
Nancy.
Thank
I
you.
love it. Folks, don't go away. I'm going to be right back with some upcoming events. We got a lot of summer camps. Cleveland State's having summer camps because Carrie was on here with us the last show to tell us about those, and other places are having summer camps. So don't go away. Watch a commercial, support our sponsors because they pay our bills, and I'll be right back.